Yes, folks, it's Tales from the Jails with John G. Sutton. Right, well, I'm sorry I've been away, but I've been writing volume 4, you see, of my HMP Manchester Prison Officer books. There's 3 out there, linked down below, but number 4 should be out before Christmas. It's with the publishers now. And today I'm going to talk, and do please like and subscribe and comments. I like your comments. Apart from those by that bastard who's got some goats. Where's he live now? On the moors, in a shed, yeah. Anyway, Larry the Goatman, if you're watching this, nice to see you. To see you, nice. Yeah, here we go. Oh, and Scott gave me a request. Scott, brave man Scott, watches this channel. Give me a request. Wants a song. I'm going to do it at the end. It's a Johnny Cash song, I Walk the Line. I'm going to do it. Well, I'm going to kill it. It won't be walking when I finish with it, will it? I'm going to talk today about another back scuttler. Yes. Another one's been up in court and got 15 months. Only 15 months, folks. What do we expect? And thank you, Larry the Goatman, for sending me that. I hadn't seen it. Apparently this lady, name of Amy Turner, my old haunting ground, Strange Ways, now called HMP Manchester. And it's only got about 900 inmates in there now. When I was there were nearly 2,000. On the day of the riot there was 1,650. But I'd seen it up to over 2,000 with them sleeping on mattresses on the floor. Yeah, but anyway, this backscuttling hostess, Amy Turner, aged 34, from Bolton, by the way. Well, just outside Bolton, towards Farmouth, I believe. Lived on a place called Alexander Road. Yeah, which looks a respectable place. I had a look. Don't personally know it, but I had a look on Google Maps, you know. Yeah. At Manchester Crown Court on the 1st of October, she was sentenced to 15 months in prison for misconduct in public office, smuggling contraband into Strange Ways, or HMP Manchester. Let's get up to date, folks. Yeah. And she'd been sending messages to her lover boy, an inappropriate relationship with inmates. But this has been going on. Apparently, she'd been under observation since 2016. So they kind of knew that Amy Turner, age 34, from Alexander Road in Bolton, who is now banged up, most likely in style, by the way, which is a female prison in Cheshire. I've worked there as well. I worked about a month on security there. Strange place, you know. Tell you who was there when I was there. What's her name? Mary Bell. You ever heard of Mary Bell? There's a brilliant book out there that you should read if you're interested in criminology. The Strange Case of Mary Bell. She murdered this boy, hid him under a pile of rubble on a building site, or what was to be a building site, and then the next day went back and carved her initials into his back. Yeah, kind of give the game away there, Mary, didn't you? Apparently she's been released from prison, but whilst she was in prison, she was only 10 or 11 years old when she committed that crime. And she was held in a remand centre, in a children's remand centre, and she made a complaint to the police that she was being sexually molested by one of the staff. And the police sent a detective to investigate and interview Mary Bell and the member of staff that she'd implicated in this allegation. And the detective who went, I know him very well because here I've got his truncheon. Yeah, his name was Frank Sutton. That's my dad, actually. Went to investigate that. It was about 1963, I think. 1964. I remember my dad telling me about it. A very strange lady, he said. I don't believe a bloody word she's saying. I think she was just trying to get herself moved or something. But anyway, my father wasn't at all impressed with her. But Mary Bell was at Style Prison when I was there. She had short hair. She'd done herself up, looked like a lad, because she wasn't very old at the time. Probably about 24, 25. And she was working in the grounds of Style, inside the walls, but in the grounds around things, because they're in blocks, prison blocks in Style. And she was cleaning the area up and tending the gardens. Yeah, so Amy Turner will be in there now, and I sincerely hope that she enjoys her 15 months in prison. She'll know what to do, like she'll know how the door's shut, won't she? Yeah, so that's a little talk about a back scuttler that's got herself banged up. Scott, thank you very much. Scott wants me to do longer broadcasts. I will do what I can, you know. Let me talk just a little bit about what's happening with the police. I don't know if you've seen anything about the police lately. They've been arresting old people, you know, like 70-year-old ladies, 80-year-old ladies, who have been demonstrating against the genocide in Gaza. Now, there's been a massive outcry about these 2 Jewish people that were killed in Manchester. Disgraceful, by the way. The loss of human life needlessly is always a terrible thing for it to happen. But 2 Jewish people, the amount of attention, that's got a lot of attention in the press. People in Parliament decrying this. And meanwhile, back in Gaza, 67,000 Palestinians have been killed in the last 2 years. 67,000 by the Israeli Defense Force. It doesn't seem to me like a defense force that kills 67,000 people. Do you think so? It seems more like an attack force. And what are the police doing when people go out on the street holding banners up saying, support the Palestinians, stop the murder in Gaza? What are they saying? Police are arresting people. Do you support the Palestine Defence League or something like that? I mean, if the police come to me and I had a banner up that said, you know, stop the killing in Gaza, and they asked me if I'd just say, who are you talking to? What do you want? You know, I wouldn't answer them properly. And that's really what to do, isn't it? I mean, listen, I know the police, my family are all in police, yeah. Only blokes like you and me, and females like your sister, your auntie, or your mother. That's all they are. Give them a big hat, a uniform, and suddenly they become politically correct. All the policemen I knew in the 60s and 70s, they weren't politically correct. Yeah, I mean, God rest my father's soul, rest in peace, Frank Sutton, but he used to tell me, he said, you know, John, he said, I can spot a criminal just by looking at him. How do you do that? I know what that is. That's pure prejudice. You know, just be a scruffy bastard who ain't got any money, hasn't dolled himself up, didn't wear a suit and tie. Because my father had handmade suits and it looked immaculate with a nice hat. Not like this old battered thing. I only wear it, folks, for one reason. Baldy head. Yeah. Keeps my head warm. Anyway, so I thought a little rant about the police today. Also, what's happening in America? You've got to be joking, haven't you? They've shut down Congress. That's their parliament, you know. Yeah, they shut it down because they can't pass the bill to balance the budget. So nobody's getting paid. People who are working on air traffic control, no pay. They're 50% staffed. They've walked out. The army, the military, on active duty, no pay. Because they can't pay them because they haven't passed the budget bill. And at the same time, you've got Pete Hegseth, who is now calling himself the Secretary of War. The Secretary of War. And where do you think this war is, folks? Yes, it's in America. That's what Donald Trump's saying is, we've got to fight the enemy within. and we're going to use our cities as training grounds for the military. Listen, if I was a major general or a lieutenant general or whatever in the American military, I'd say, I tell you what, I'm just about at it with this bullshit. I'm in. Here's me cards. I'm out. I wouldn't piss around. I wouldn't listen to that. I'd have no big, fat, ignorant, uneducated slob. He must weigh 19 stone. And Eggset is wobbling around on the stage shouting, we need fit generals, and we don't want no bearded weirdies. All that nonsense. And women can't be in the military. And transgenders can't be in the military. Let me tell you this. If you've got half a dozen of the enemy coming at you, you wouldn't care whether the bloke next to you was wearing a wig, a tutu, or what, just so long as they got a bloody gun to help you shoot the bastards. Yeah? Anyway, it's that time of day, folks. I sincerely hope you're enjoying this Tales from the Jails. I'll drop other comments in if you like the current affairs stuff that I'm doing. And don't forget, my new book will be out. You can get it from the publisher. It'll be on Amazon. And hopefully they're going to do it again in Audible. I hope so. They're good. The guy who reads them is Turton. His name is Alan Turton. He's an actor, you know. He's been in things like what is it, Ennerdale and Coronation Street and stuff like that. But he's good. He's Alan Turton. He's got the right voice for it. They wouldn't let me do it. The publisher said, no, we know what we're doing. So there you go. So otherwise I would have been reading it, which I actually wanted to do, but I'm not the publisher. I'm going to do you a poem now. I have done this previously. It's one of my favourite poems by John Betjeman. And it's about this boy who holidays in Cornwall. Then he goes back to his home in London, and he imagines that he wants to be back by the sea in Cornwall, and the holidays are over and school is just around the corner. This is Harrow on the Hill. When melancholy autumn comes to Wembley and the electric trains are lighted after tea, the poplars near the stadium are trembly with their tap and whispering to me, like the sound of little breakers spreading out along the surf line when the estuary's filling with the sea. Then Harrow on the Hill's a rocky island, and Harrow churchyard full of sailors' graves, and the constant click and kissing of the trolleybuses hissing is the level of the wheeled stone turned to waves, and the rumble of the railway is the thunder of the rollers as they gather up for plunging into caves. There's a storm cloud to the westward over Kenton. There's a line of harbour lights at Perryvale. Is it rounding rough Pentyre in a flood of sunset fire, the little fleet of trawlers under sail? Can those boats be only rooftops as they stream along the skyline in a race for port and Padstow with the gale? Harrow on the Hill by John Betjeman. And now especially for Scott, who is a regular contributor here, sends me little notes. Don't you, mate? Here we go. I'm going to do my best to sing this song now, by request. This is Johnny Cash's I Walk the Line. And as I say, the line will be broken by the time I've finished. But we'll give it a go, folks. I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the ends out for the tie that binds. Because you're mine, I walk the line. I find it very, very easy to be true. I find myself alone when each day is through. Yes, I'll admit that I'm a fool for you, because you're mine. I walk the line, as sure as night is dark and day is light. I keep you on my mind both day and night, and happiness I've known proves that it's right, because you're mine. I walk the line. You've got a way to keep me on your side. You give me cause for love that I can't hide. For you I know I'll even try to turn the tide, because you're mine. I walk the line. I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the ends out for the tie that binds, because you're mine. I walk the line. There you go. I'm sure many of you will be running now to escape that horrible noise. Do please, folks, like and subscribe. Comments down below. Tales from the Jails. Johnny's back. The book is written. It's with the publishers. Volume 4. Tales from the Jails. Comments.